Hello everyone, welcome to Muzi Tryhards, and today's tryhard is going to be a Paladin deck. Now if you're one of those people that recently started playing Hearthstone and you managed to get as far as maybe rank 17 or 18 with basic cards, but you don't know how to do any better than that, this is probably the video for you. When I first started, that was basically my deal. I managed to find a lot of really helpful tutorials on how to play well using just basic cards, but there weren't any tutorials on how to do well with Noxramas cards, and that's what this tutorial is about. So if that's what you're here for, then stay till the end of the video. Otherwise, this video is probably not for you. So the basic philosophy of any really good Paladin is to have minions that will survive at least one turn. So because his main strength is being able to buff his minions with something. For example, he has cards like this. When one of your minions dies, give 3/2 to a random minion. Blessing of Might, give a minion 3 attack. Give a minion Divine Shield. Give a minion Divine Shield. All of these things are very good, and Blessing of Kings too. All of these things are very good, but only if your minions survive long enough to buff them. If you're playing against a mage, for example, and every time you put down a card he just removes it, then you're going to have a very hard time playing well with Paladin, and all of these buffs are actually going to be weaknesses. They're not going to be strength, because they're basically going to be like dead cards in your hand, and you're going to find yourself very soon not being able to have any cards to play. So here's how you can construct a deck where you're always going to be able to use these spells. So let's start with our class specific cards. I took 2 Avenge spells, 2 Blessing of Kings, 2 Hand of Protection, 2 Argent Protectors, 2 True Silver Moon Champions for removal, 2 Blessing of Kings, and 1 Consecration. I find that it's situations where you need to use Consecration are rare, so just having 1 is good enough. You don't really need to have 2. After that, all of my minions are basically minions that I'm pretty sure will survive 1 turn. So we have Griblin Stalker. Now this is probably the only minion in my deck that I got by luck. It's one of the Goblins versus Gnomes cards. You can get it by buying Goblins versus Gnomes deck, or you can just play the arena missions and maybe you'll get it. But it's really not necessary for you to have this card. Any stealth minion will do, okay? So if you don't have this card, don't stress. This is a Haunted Creeper. You can get it from the Noxramas missions, and it's good because it guarantees again that you will have at least 1 minion on the board next turn. These are really good. These are really good because you can use Blessing of Kings to buff them, and you can kill a minion and then you can get your Nerubian. And another good way to use these is you can just leave them on the board if you're playing against like a mage or a warlock, for example, and the other guy is going to know that if he uses some kind of board clear to deal damage across your board, he's going to end up summoning the 4/4 Nerubians for you. So it's really good. Sometimes it's actually smarter to just not buff them and leave them on the board. So our next card is a Harvest Golem. You also get these from the Noxramas missions. Shade of Noxramas is another Noxramas mission. Now my Silent Knight is a good card again for this deck, but you get him if you play the what do you call it? The Grand Tournament, I believe. Yeah, he's a Grand Tournament card. So, and as for Piloted Shredder, you get him Noxramas. Fugen and Stalag are Noxramas. Sludge Belcher Noxramas. Kel'thuzad Noxramas. So if you just complete the Noxramas missions, you're already going to get 90% of the cards, and then after that you only need to do a little bit of the grand tournament to get the Silent Knight, and then along the way maybe you play a few arena missions, you get a few nice cards of your own, and maybe you can switch it up in a way that works better for you. But this is my Death Knight deck, and I managed to get as far as rank 15 with this deck. So if you do it exactly the way I do it, you're probably going to get that far too. So that's the deck. I hope it helps you guys, and maybe soon I'll upload a few videos showing you guys how to play well with this deck, because it's not just about constructing the deck, it's also understanding how the deck works. So I'll see you guys later.